The Hobbit by J.R.R. Tolkien. Our story begins in the comfortable, peaceful land of the Shire, home to the little folk known as hobbits. Bilbo Baggins, a hobbit who enjoys his quiet life, is unexpectedly visited by the wizard Gandalf. Soon after, 13 dwarves, led by the proud Thorin Oakenshield, arrive to enlist Bilbo for an adventure. Their quest is to journey east to the Lonely Mountain and reclaim the dwarves' ancestral treasure from the dragon Smaug. Bilbo, reluctantly appointed their burglar, joins the company, quickly finding himself far from the comfort of his home. Their first challenge is a narrow escape from a cave of trolls, who Gandalf tricks into turning to stone by daylight. The company is soon captured by goblins in the Misty Mountains. While escaping, Bilbo falls deep inside the tunnels and loses his way alone in the dark. He stumbles upon a tiny golden ring and soon encounters the pale, menacing creature named Gollum. Bilbo must play a game of riddles with Gollum to win his freedom. When Gollum fails to answer the final riddle, he realizes his precious ring is missing. Bilbo learns the ring makes him invisible, using its power to escape Gollum in the tunnels. Rejoining the dwarves, the company is almost immediately ambushed by fierce wargs and goblins. Gandalf saves them by calling on the great eagles, who carry the company to safety high above the mountains. Their journey leads them through the eerie, dark forest of Mirkwood, where Gandalf is forced to leave them. Lost in the endless woods, the dwarves are captured by giant, hungry spiders. Bilbo, now invisible and wielding his small sword called Sting, saves them, realizing he has changed into a true hero. They are then captured by the Wood Elves, who lock the dwarves in their halls for trespassing. The elves, though fair and noble, are suspicious and refuse to release the dwarves without knowing the purpose of their journey. Thorin, equally proud, refuses to reveal their quest, causing the dwarves to languish in the dark dungeon cells. For weeks, Bilbo remains invisible, roaming the elven halls and gathering information, determined to free his friends. Using the ring's invisibility, Bilbo devises a daring escape by packing the dwarves into empty wine barrels. They float down the river toward the human settlement of Lake Town, exhausted but free. After a warm welcome in Lake Town, the company finally reaches the majestic, ruined, lonely mountain. Bilbo is forced to face the dragon alone in its vast, golden lair. Using his cleverness, Bilbo tricks Smaug into revealing a weakness on his underbelly. Enraged, Smaug flies from the mountain to destroy Lake Town. Smaug is finally struck down by the heroic bowman, Bard, who shoots an arrow into the dragon's vulnerable spot. With Smaug defeated, Thorin reclaims his kingdom and descends into a spiral of gold lust. He stubbornly refuses to share the treasure with the human survivors of Lake Town or the elves who offered aid. The elves and men, led by Bard, arrive at the mountain to claim their rightful share of the wealth. Bilbo secretly gives the magnificent Arkenstone, the dwarves' most prized jewel, to Bard as leverage for peace. Just as a siege is about to begin, a massive army of dwarves, led by Thorin's cousin Dain, arrives to support Thorin. However, a far greater threat emerges. An army of goblins and wargs, unseen by any faction, arrives from the north. This forces the immediate alliance of dwarves, elves, and men. The Battle of Five Armies is joined. Thorin, seeing Bilbo's sacrifice in the final approach of the enemy, fights heroically but is fatally wounded. With the arrival of the Great Eagles and the passing of Thorin, the combined free forces drive the enemy back. Bilbo says a tender farewell to the dying Thorin, who finally regrets his avarice and calls Bilbo a true friend. Bilbo returns to the Shire a hero, bringing little treasure but much wisdom. Tolkien's message is that true heroism is not found in strength or wealth, but in kindness and simple acts of courage. The small, overlooked hobbit proved that even the least of us can turn the tide of history. The ring's presence reminds us that even the smallest adventure can carry enormous consequences for the wider world. Did you like this story? Let us know. Hit that like button, drop a comment below, and be sure to subscribe to Storytime Illustrated so you never miss a classic. Want more epic tales? Click on either video on screen now for your next illustrated story.